Poster design is the perfect medium to communicate something to the world. You can plaster a phrase loud and proud across an A2 piece of paper, and everyone will know exactly what you are talking about. My work places a huge focus on the text. I very rarely use stock imagery or even photos I've taken in my posters, as I instead like to let the words do the talking and have their moment in the spotlight. 90% of the time when designing a poster, I will start with the text and let that word, sentence, or paragraph that comes to mind dictate the visual direction of the poster. So let's think about what you want to say in this poster. This can sometimes be the trickiest part, and some of you may be thinking, Elliot, why can't you just tell us a phrase and we all copy it? And I could do that, and you can still just copy mine, but where's the fun in that? Remember, this poster will be a self-portrait of sorts. It should be personal. It should be an extension of your taste, your style, your personality, you know? All that cringe stuff they teach you at art school. But this isn't cringe because you don't have to show it to anyone if you don't want to. And that changes everything. We're looking for a pretty standard sized sentence for this poster. There's no specific word or character count, just enough of a sentence to feel satisfying to read. Something like, I don't have a degree, I hope that's okay. Or, I love taking a break without actually taking a break. Or, taxes, oh no, I'm a graphic designer, I don't have to pay those. Does that make sense? Those examples are from some of my best performing posters on Instagram. When I come up with the text, the first thing I resort to is honesty. I'll choose a topic I feel passionate about, like degreeless education, procrastination, or taxes, funnily enough, and then I'll just write down a bunch of random thoughts of how I honestly feel towards that topic. Honesty is key here. It's essential to true self-expression. Remember, no one has to see this poster. You can write about how nervous you are to design a poster, how annoyed you are that Photoshop costs so much, or take a hobby you love to do and write something about that. It doesn't matter what it's about, it just matters that it screams you. Try and come up with 3 different sentences you'd be happy designing with, and choose a clear first, second, and third. Some sentences just don't feel good when designing. You'll know what I mean when we start adding text to the poster, so it's nice to have some backups just in case you really can't make it work. For my poster, I'm going to start with a text, I'm the teacher of this course, but I still feel like a student, haha. Honesty. The haha at the end is just a thing I like to add to sentences sometimes. I've heard it makes my posters more relatable and awkward, and I like that. My 2 backup sentences are, never thought I'd teach a course, this is very cool, and I dropped out of uni and now I am teaching a course. Good job, Elliot. As you can tell, I can't think of any ideas right now that aren't related to what I am doing in this exact moment, teaching a course. If that changes, I'll be sure to keep you updated. Spend a little bit of time brainstorming your sentences, and if nothing is coming to mind, which is completely fair, an easy and honest template text is, my name is, your name, and I am a graphic designer. This should be enough to serve you well while designing, and it's true, you are a graphic designer now. You can tell anyone who disagrees with you that Elliot said you are a graphic designer. They will understand and change their mind. I swear. Okay. We have our mindset, we have our essential knowledge, we have our inspiration, and we have our text. All we need now is our design. So what are we waiting for? The next section of this course is where things get interesting. We're going to dive right into Photoshop and have a play around with some of its coolest tools. It'll seem daunting at first, and it probably will be for a while, but trust me when I tell you that it is so much more simple than it seems. I only use like 10% of Photoshop when I design my posters anyway. So let's get into it and let's learn how to design, shall we?